How's it going? Alrighty. Welcome, viewers. Sorry, everyone's getting in slow today. How's it going, Kayla? Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Doing anything fun for the 4th?
No. How about y'all?
Just got a couple fireworks to do with Thomas, and he's super excited because there's a tank in there.
That's awesome.
I'm trying to think. I don't think that we ended up doing any fireworks last year. The year before that, he was only 2. And I don't know that he remembers it at all. Because the year before that was COVID.
This might be his first experience of it.
Yeah, at least the first one that he remembers. There was the first time when he was a baby. He was not old enough to remember, but we did fireworks with a ton of friends up in Logan, and a close friend of ours ended up throwing a firecracker up, and then instead of going forward, it went backwards and almost landed. It landed like right next to him, and it was a fun situation. Or no, not a firecracker. It was one of the spinners, the screechers that kind of just lights on fire and spins. So
Yeah.
it was fun.
Yeah, the
Grabbed
fourth is
him and
always
moved. It's like, nope,
yeah,
not today.
that's funny. Yeah, the fourth is always one of those holidays where occasionally, like, my extended family might do something, like my cousins and stuff. They might not, or a friend might invite me to something, but it's like one of those where if there's an opportunity for something fun, sure, but it's never like a consistent big deal or something.
Mm-hmm. Definitely understand that. Yeah, I'm not much of a celebratory person, much to Erica's chagrin.
Yeah, like I'm more of a Halloween Christmas person. Those
Yeah.
are my holidays.
Even
And-
then, I'm just kind of chill. It's like a long, little bit more relaxing weekend with, a little bit more going on for me. As opposed
Halloween
to-
is probably the most important holiday to me.
Blasphemy.
Taggart gets more excited about sales in DDO than Christmas.
That's not true. I get more excited about Friday night D&D.
Yeah, but either way, he celebrates things, just not holidays,
Yeah, that's true.
which is okay.
Got a bit of a foggy camera there, Enrique.
Yeah. What's up?
By the way,
I'm back.
I don't know if anybody else is a fellow fruit snack lover, but if you are, pro tip, refrigerated fruit snacks are 10 times better than room temperature fruit snacks.
I am
Oh,
a
yeah.
fruit snack connoisseur. I have never heard of refrigerating them though.
Dude, try it. Try it.
I like anything gummy flavored.
Oh, absolutely. And I love how you say gummy flavored.
Gummy's more of a texture, but
it's an experience.
Yes. I love that. But yeah, refrigerated gummies, at least fruit snacks. I haven't tried it with every single type of gummy. I know some of them, like the when I've had Sour Patch Kids that get too cold, they feel and taste stale instead. Their freezing
Yeah.
temperature's relatively high. I was gonna say low, but no, that's the opposite of true.
But no, I actually have a problem. I will eat so much of them that I will literally make myself sick, and I have to like remove them from myself.
That's why I do
have
one pack a day.
witnessed
Oh, I don't know if I could do a pack a day, but
I don't mean like a box. I mean like a small.
no, I know what you're saying. I don't know if I can. Yes. Oh, are those the Welch's ones?
These ones are Mott's. The two that I get the most are Mott's and Welch's.
Yeah, I actually have a. I
The
have
ones
a
that actually
pack
have
of.
fruit juice in them.
I have a pack of Mocks with me right now. I bought a giant 20
Mott's?
pack for
Oh,
$8.
Mott's.
Mott's, that whatever it is. Hold on. Do I have a webcam? I don't think I have.
Dude, you need a webcam. Join the rest of us.
Yeah.
Expose your identity to the internet so that you can be harassed for being an enjoyable D&D player.
Oh, I'm never gonna be harassed.
Good.
Dude, if you're
Not in
saying
a good
I will
way,
never be
anyways.
harassed, you were bullied in school. We already know that.
Yeah, a little bit. In elementary school and part of middle school, yeah.
Hmm.
So what snacks do you have, Gabriel? I have snacks. I have
No, you can't
a
have.
granola
You can't
bar.
play D&D without
Well-
snacks.
I've got Sour
Well,
Patch
I-
Kids.
I stopped at a gas station and I got a shake. And I got a Diet Coke refill. Earlier today at Walmart, I got a white grape sparkling water. I got some peanut M&Ms.
The best kind.
I got some Cheeto Puffs.
Oh wow.
And I got some knockoff Cheeto Puffs.
nice. Oh, my niece recently introduced me to white cheddar Cheeto Puffs, and they are amazing.
Yes, they are.
So I'm gonna go
Honolulu.
grab.
Trust.
I'm gonna go grab a pack of fruit snacks just to see if it's Mott's. Plus, I'm probably
No,
gonna
no,
eat
no,
it.
no, no. Put them in the fridge.
Put it in the fridge.
Yes, put it in the fridge. Even let it chill. No, put one pack in the freezer. Let it chill for like 10, 15 minutes. That should be good enough to at least kind of get there. You'll thank me.
Well, I only have one more pack. I've
Then put
literally
it in the
been
freezer.
saving it.
Put it in the freezer.
I've been
It's
saving-
worth it. Have the patience. It's
Okay.
15 minutes could save you 1,000,000% or more on your satisfaction of your Mott's.
Okay.
You're gonna like the way it tastes.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
guarantee it.
It improves the flavor of gummy. The sad thing is, he was gone to hear that. Okay.
I haven't tried it with gummies, but I will say I like refrigerated Reese's cups so much better than like room temperature that it's hard for me to eat Reese's if they're not cold. Like
Almost
that.
all candy I refrigerate before I eat it.
Yep. Some people are like, "Oh, have you tried toasting Pop Tarts? It tastes great." I'm like, "Have you frozen your Pop Tarts?
Well,
That tastes
isn't
better."
Pop-Tarts... Isn't the reason they're called Pop-Tarts because they pop out of the toaster? Isn't that, like, the point?
Yeah, yeah, but you know, Gen Z
Nobody has time for
thinks.
that.
Yeah, Gen Z thinks, "Oh my goodness, you can put Coke with ice cream, and it makes a weird root beer float similar thing." We invented this. We are Generation Z. We invented this. They think like that, so yeah.
I don't know.
I saw something about that. I also saw like a headline the other day about this new trend from the South about like, putting peanuts in a bottle of Coke. And I'm like, we've been doing that my entire life. That's not new. Where is this headline coming from?
Peanuts in Coke?
Yes.
Like Coca-Cola Coke, right?
Yes. Yes. It's definitely been a thing, I mean, where I grew up for generations. But I guess now more people are noticing it. I don't know. It was bizarre to me.
Yeah, I would say I've never tried that, but I also rarely drink Coke anyway, so I don't know that I would go for it.
I'm gonna try it.
I'm
But
gonna try
watch
anything
out,
once,
somebody's
right?
somebody's gonna invent deep fried.
Isn't that already a
Define
thing?
invent, as in like invent you're
That
being
has to
sarcastic.
absolutely already be
Or-
a thing.
Or
That's-
discover. Like,
You're saying that
And-
facetiously, right? As in like they think they're the
Yeah,
ones who
yeah,
can-
like-
okay, good.
yeah, but I have had fried Twinkies.
Okay.
I've had fried Oreos. I've had boiled peanuts. Like,
You
yeah.
can buy boiled peanuts at the supermarket. Like that is
yeah,
the most common
Boiled
thing.
peanuts.
I miss
from
it.
what?
I don't know.
you just
People do a
eat
lot
them.
of stupid
Boiled
things.
peanuts are
It's in the refrigerator.
Yeah, man.
well done. I
It's
just
worth
saw
it.
that
It's worth
picture next to the milk.
Yes, it's lactate milk because I am lactose intolerant.
Wait, what picture? Oh. Okay. Yep.
I had to give him proof, so he
Good.
didn't think I was
Good
making it up.
Yes. You said it's lactose
Pers-
free milk?
Yes, it is lactose free milk.
I always say this joke, but there was a thing that I read one time and I loved it because it so reminds me of Erica, and it's just like these two people. One of them's like, "Yeah, I'm lactose free. I mean, I'm lactose intolerant. It really stinks." And the other person says, "Yeah, that must really stink to not eat dairy." And the first person responds, "Who told you I don't eat dairy?"
Yep.
Yes, very true.
See,
Hey, I try. I try.
my lactose tolerance has gone down. I think I'm the second oldest person out of this whole group, and the person that's older than me can attest that when you get older, your lactose tolerance kind of goes down, and it sucks. Not because I don't eat as much, but
Well, if you stop eating it, it will, you know.
I think did she leave because
Did
I
you
said
just
that?
call her out and then she dipped? Didn't even-
Outed her as the oldest, dude. That was rude.
Yeah, man. Come on, Gabriel.
Sorry.
Oh, she's
But-
back. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, my internet like blipped me out for a minute.
Oh,
What was the last thing you heard?
I heard you saying something about how you think you were the second oldest person in the group, and that was it.
I don't remember saying that.
Don't
I
check the
distinctly
stream.
remember
Did
it.
I miss
I
something?
distinctly remember him saying that.
Was Enrique
definitely
calling
said
me
that.
old?
I never said anybody. I never said any names.
Well, Kyle's older than I am, for one.
Really?
And I think me and you were born in the same year. I just don't know which one of us was born first. So,
Yeah, I think we were born in the same year. So
How old are you, Kayla?
yeah.
yeah.
I'll be 32 in September.
September what?
28.
I'm
That
older
is-
than you by 12 days.
That's Erica's due date.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Wow, that's pretty selfish. That's Kayla's birthday.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We'll give it back to you, Kayla. We'll try and land
I'll
somewhere in
let-
between
It's
your
only
guys'
5%
birthday.
chance.
I will share my birthday.
Okay. So then maybe Enrique
yeah.
was right that
Hey,
he was the
I'm
second.
down if you're down.
oldest.
He is, because Kyle's older than him. I don't know how old Jake is.
Jake
I remember.
is younger than I am.
Oh, and I know you're younger than me,
Yeah.
so.
hmm
Yeah, I just turned 30 this year. Well, last year. I was on the border
Yeah.
of the years.
Yeah, because you have, like, the New Year's Eve birthday, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Everyone around the entire world celebrates on my birthday.
Yeah.
There was a parade the day that I was born.
Okay.
There really
Oh,
was.
speaking of births, my, my second niece was born yesterday.
Nice. Congrats.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It is. My first niece was here when my brother FaceTimed to, show her sister and stuff, so that was cool. I was barely awake, so.
Okay. So I think last session was before I was on vacation, right?
Yes,
Okay,
you
so
abandoned us.
I did abandon you. Almost as much as the party abandoned Maleth, right?
No,
Yeah.
mate.
You guys could have rescued
What?
her. And no one was here last week. Nobody.
What? I asked, "Are we doing anything this week?"
No, I'm just
They said
teasing.
no next week.
I was
I was like,
very much.
I was ready.
very much not around. Okay. Either way, recap for last time, and I guess for those who are listening, character name Jasper is not going to be here today, so we are going to forego the current events in the throne room, and those will pick up next week. This week we will be focusing on the party's attempted rescue of Maleth, which has been happening in tandem with the distraction of the king. So, last time, Nomad and Tiffany both had been making their way into this government building here in Melkar, while Gabriel and Hestia were gathering information in a different room in a different part, trying to not draw any attention to themselves. Tiffany and Nomad both had an interaction or a run-in with a darkly clad knight who they were able to fool, at least initially, and convince that Tiffany had brought in Nomad as a prisoner. And she was directed to bring him upstairs, where they hope they will find Maleth. That is the last that we heard from the party, and so we'll be jumping back in. I think we can start over where Gabriel and Hestia are, as you've been rifling around in the papers, and as I recall, there were a number of items that you had found. Let me consult my notes. You'd found a journal of Tarth Heavymoon, the Magistrate of Melkar. And interestingly, you had found journal entries from him journal entries and also signatures from him coming from both before and after the undead takeover of the capital, at least if your accounts and the dates that you know of are accurate.
hmm Yep.
And I didn't end up getting the stuff that I was planning for you, Gabriel. So I'll get that put together when I can. But I do owe you 3 notable journal entries surrounding what has changed in Zelkir in the past amount of time. But you were able to find between you and Hestia 3 magical items here in this room. You found a quill that was enchanted, a ring, and a key. Though, as I recall, you were unable to identify what specifically they were.
Yeah.
Right. Any questions before we continue? From either end, just to get the final recap of where we are and what's going on.
I'm just gonna look at a Hestia and be like, so just take these quill, pen. I mean the quill, ring, and key. You're muted,
Okay.
Hestia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take them.
All right. Sweet. You want to
Hestia,
take all of them,
actually,
or
so real
Yep.
quick, Hestia, is you? Oh, actually, hold on. Sorry, go ahead. Continue. I need to check something before I say that.
I was just gonna ask Hestia, do you want to hold on to all 3 of them, or 1 or 2?
Sorry, it was a little hard to hear. What are they?
It's a magical quill, a magical ring, and a key. Magical key. We don't know what the specifics of those, but that's the 3 things we have.
Okay, a magical
we've
key, a ring, and a magical quill.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
I'll just hand all 3 items over to Hestia.
Okay, give me just a moment. Okay, Hestia, as you touch the key, your memory flashes for a moment, and you remember the dream that you had a short time ago.
The one of my family?
I am saying nothing more, though. You can say things or ask things if you wish.
So, does it spark back to the memory of my family being in a gem, basically?
If you want, I can tell you more details now.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. Do you want to just hear the
Yep.
hear the whole dream? Okay. Well, everyone gets to hear it then.
Perfect.
So the dream happened, and as you were lying down to sleep, you heard a voice that you recognized as your husband's. You must find us, free us. You have a flash of a disembodied hand in your vision, proffering you a key, but before you could grab it in your dream, it disappeared, and you woke. But as you touch this key, you feel a level of connection to it. What specifically that means, you don't know, but you recognize it as the key from your dream.
Oh, I definitely am keeping that safe.
Now, does either of you have a bag of holding?
Yes, I do.
Okay, right. Good to know.
So yeah, I'm actually, yeah, Hestia, do you want me to hold on to the stuff instead, since I got the bag of holding?
I think I should be able to carry it.
Okay, sounds good.
It's a quill and a ring. It's not gonna weigh much, but
That's fair.
Roll a perception check, Gabriel.
Let's see, perception. Got a total of a 22.
As you're talking to Hestia and offering to put the things in your bag of holding, You idly kind of like put your hand on the bag of holding to open it up, and it feels off to you. You look down
The ring?
the bag,
Mm-hmm.
and as you inspect it, it looks like a regular bag. It is not opening to any dimensional space.
Can I check on the items that I got and just see what they might be?
Do you have Detect Magic, Hestia?
I do not,
Okay. You will
but I
need
do have
detect
spellcraft.
You will
Okay.
need Detect Magic in order to determine what they do,
Okay.
what they are.
Well, should we find our compatriots? Our compadres?
Can I do, before we do that, can I do either an intelligence or a wisdom roll to see?
Knowledge Arcana would be knowledge would be knowledge pertaining to magical items and magic and such. So that's probably your best bet.
Okay. Okay.
And I think we got your things. Okay. Nothing comes to your mind that you
11.
You're not sure why you can't access it.
Why are you the king of low rolls? I'm sorry to interrupt, but Jesus. Gabriel's like the king of rolling ones and twos, but
Except for when he's using his actual physical dice.
oh, did I skip?
he's-
I made him leave.
When Gabriel is using his physical dice, it is like nat 20s all day long.
Really?
Yes. Oh
It
my
is.
gosh.
And I'll show you guys the rolls. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah,
no.
it's
He's-
high rolls, but I don't like fantasy grounds because it gives me rolls all over the place. I
it
mean,
doesn't-
I
it
have
doesn't let your
gotten
luck.
low rolls with physical dice. I accidentally killed the gods once with a natural one, so it happens.
But not to Gabriel.
Yeah, that's right. The dice help tell the story, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So
That's
you're
why we RP.
you're not sure why your bag of holding is different. I mean, you're looking at it, and from the outside, nothing looks different. It's very certainly your bag.
Okay, and do I remember feeling weird about the bag earlier or last time I used the bag? Like it was just like all of a sudden, like, oh,
I mean, it's something that it's so much a part of your person. You're accustomed to putting things in it, and I mean, I would imagine that every once in a while you'll kind of like stick your hand in, fiddle around, try and pull something out. You know, just when you're bored. And so just now you touched it, and something felt off. Like just a flag went off in your brain. Kind of like when do you know what I mean, or do you want me to describe further?
I know what you mean.
Okay, yeah. So it just felt off, and then you investigated it further, and it's like, normal bag. What is going on?
It's like, no, I paid good money for this bag. I paid. If it was just a normal bag all along, I overpaid. I don't.
Hopefully
like
it's
this.
still under warranty. But yeah, okay. So there's that. So,
Okay.
Hestia, Gabriel, anything?
I'm gonna see where everyone else is and try and rejoin them.
So what is
Yeah,
it? that
I'll
you're
follow.
Going, what is it you're going to do to try and see where they are?
I'm gonna melt into the shadows with my
So you're
ability.
for context, just to remind, can you guys see the map? I'm actually gonna share my
I've got it
screen to the
open.
map so that people on Twitch can see it as well.
What's it called in Fantasy Grounds again?
I believe it's Melkar Building. Yes, Melikar building.
Well, I'm not there. I can't see it anyways.
Okay. So you are here in the study. Oh, I have that turned off. Okay. So this is where you guys are at. You know that Tiffany and Nomad have made their way into the building itself, posing as, you know, a new guard bringing in someone for a crime. Beyond that, however, you don't know where they are. Do you have any magical means to tell where they are?
Well, I can send my bird around, but I think I'm going to just cast Alter Self on me.
Okay.
And on Gabriel to look like some of the dead servants walking around.
Okay.
And then I'm going to at least try and make my life thing turn into negative, like a dead person.
Okay, so using your class ability, what you're doing for everyone else's reference is you're altering the auras and the just pretty much everything that you emit as a living, breathing person. You're causing yourself to effectively manifest as undead. And then comboing that with Alter Self and Inspection shows that you're undead. In every way.
Yeah, I don't really know what to do about Enrique though, but that's as best as I know how to do.
Okay. Are you going to go anywhere else, or are you just going to...
I'm going to have my bird scout ahead, and...
Through the door or back outside?
Through the door.
Okay. Is it incorporeal? Can it go through walls?
No.
Okay. So the door is shut presently.
Alright, then I'm gonna open up the door.
Okay. It is locked.
Okay. Then I should have, like, shape wood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and cast
I'm gonna
the
warp
spell.
the wood to kind of make the lock not working anymore.
Okay. So you pull, in essence, you pull the wood away from the lock so that at first glance it doesn't look like it's been changed at all, but you can now open the door and then the handle and the lock part stay in their mechanism. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Alright.
And are you, at this point, are you opening the door enough and just sending your owl out?
Yes, I'm just gonna open it just enough to send my owl out and leave an opening for it to come back in.
Okay, and I'm trying to
32?
remember exactly.
Unless I
Is
see
your-
anybody
yeah.
come down the hall.
So your owl is completely visible, correct?
I'm not quite sure. Give me a second.
Okay. So I'm admittedly not particularly familiar with Shaman.
Well, I'm gonna have it stay in the shadows and the darkness. That should help.
Okay, then go ahead and give me
And-
a stealth check as well for your owl.
Okay. And they're silent, so
Mm-hmm.
I can give you the stats on it.
I know it's got a total plus 15 stealth.
Okay.
So, okay, so just 2 higher than you. Okay, with a 25 stealth. So, your owl flies up and pretty much what you can see, let me turn off the walls so that I can kind of show you. So, your owl flies up. Let's actually see if I can get a thing out here for your owl. I'm just going to drag you out there. So, as your owl is flying out here, you can see that there's someone patrolling the halls right here to the north of you, but you're able to stay out of sight and up, at the top of the vaulted ceiling well enough to not be noticed. And as you move this way, you get to about here, and you can see both Tiffany and Nomad making their way towards this area.
Towards what area?
The area right here where Hestia is at there, towards an opening at the center
middle
of the
part?
building. Yeah.
Okay.
You can't see exactly what it is yet, but it is certainly an opening. And you can see several doors on the side.
Okay.
Tiffany and Nomad, can you guys make a perception check for me?
Great.
Neither of you notices the owl.
So when my owl comes back, I know all that. So my plan is to go back outside and make another hole in the wall where it's clear of the guard.
Okay, so you can have your owl stay there to tell you when to go,
Okay.
if you want.
Sounds
so
good.
you can see.
I'm
Okay.
never not
Alright.
having perception as a class skill ever again.
I know, right?
I have learned my lesson.
Alright. Well then I'm gonna cast Stone Shape
Okay.
and make another door.
Give me another. So, what sort of door are you making? Because once again,
A low door that we can just crouch in behind like a plant or a statue, somewhere a little inconspicuous. I assume my owl can.
help you determine where.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Give me a. I'll call it a stealth. Still, go ahead and give me another stealth check. And I will roll perception for the guard. Okay. You shape another opening there at the bottom, much like you did to get into the other room. Did you do anything to secure the door closed?
Yes, I shut it and did my best to make it look normal.
Okay. Okay, then you will be able, when you want to try and slip with Gabriel through the opening to get into the other part of the hall.
Okay.
When would you want to do that? Do you want to do it when Tiffany and Nomad are closer, or do you want us to pull away from you for a little bit and have them do things, and then you'll just... Actually, let's do that. Tiffany, Nomad, let's go to you,
Yeah.
and then Hestia, Gabriel, when you guys are ready to kind of make your way in, let me know, and we'll make those checks as necessary. Right, Tiffany and Nomad, you have just had your run-in with... Oh gosh, what was her name? Rudy Darkblood. And by all appearances, she was in wicked black armor, almost an insectile helmet, and she gave you your direction to go bring your prisoner upstairs. You there, Tiffany? Or have we lost you?
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah, sorry. I kind of flipped out again. I'm surprised it didn't kick me out of the whole thing. I heard you say we had our run-in with Rudy, but whatever you said right after that, I didn't hear.
She had given you direction to go bring your prisoner to the upstairs, and... Oh gosh, do you recall partly where she had said to bring you?
Draining room.
The draining
Yeah,
room,
she had
that's
taken me
right.
to the draining room, said she wanted to hear his screams, which is why I told him after a few minutes he needed to like scream for his life. But first I kind of want to get an idea where the room is, so maybe we could fake this well, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
So I think she told you go up the stairs and to the right.
Okay. Cool. As we go, I will be listening to see if I actually hear any other screams or not.
Okay. So I will use the same perception check you rolled just a moment ago. As you are making your way this way, you get to about here and you notice there's stairs that go up to another level. Periodically, well, actually, how fast would you be moving? Are you just kind of just walk normally, or are you going slowly to kind of take in your surroundings?
Take in surroundings.
Okay. So as you're kind of moving through, you notice this guard periodically come this way, take note of you, and he'll looks at you for a moment, and turns and keeps walking back this way.
Okay.
So obviously on patrol.
Yes. Does he take any notice of me or say anything? Just
He doesn't.
okay.
Although you do know that he had observed at least part of your interaction with Rudy. So that may explain that.
Yes. I'm guessing if I whispered anything to Nomad, the guard would probably hear.
At least while he's like within eyeshot of you, you can reasonably assume that.
Okay. I'm going to kind of tap Nomad to make sure he's aware of the guard, which I'm sure he would be. But as we walk toward the direction of the draining, which we do to avoid suspicion, I would kind of be looking to see if any, just casually to see if any room looks like it could be when where Malith is held, and also see if I notice any opportunities to, like, knock that particular guard out or something.
Would you want to try and get behind the guard or anything like that, or just...
Aren't the guards undead, though?
You're not sure.
Yeah, we don't know yet. I've been treating them as if they're not, just because we don't know. So, yes. If we happen to get close enough to him to tell more, I'd probably act, but I'm more focused on not looking suspicious.
Well, you can check. You can check as he goes behind the wall as part of his route. You could check some of the doors nearby and see what you can tell about them.
Okay. I will do that.
Go ahead and roll a perception check. Through this
31.
door, you hear the sound of scribbling coming through. Much like at one of the previous doors that you had looked at, this seems to be a clerical office. At least by the, there doesn't appear to be a hefty lock on this one compared to the other one that was opposite where you guys had first infiltrated. But as you are, listening, you do hear the other guard seeming to come up. There doesn't seem to be too much of a break between eyes in this area, so you would step away before the other guard comes into view.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like she's there.
Yeah. No talking,
You
just,
might-
muttering and scratches of quills.
She may not be in any of these rooms. If she said that she's in a regal room, I would assume that all of these are offices. So upstairs is probably going to be our best bet.
Yes. Probably so. Can you describe to me again where the draining room is in conjunction to the other stairs?
So the description that you were given from Rudy was up the stairs and to the right. And that was all she
Okay.
told you.
Yes.
So let's go up the stairs and to the left.
Sounds good.
Okay. And Gabriel and Hestia, just let me know when you guys want to try and intervene in any way. But you two, Tiffany and Nomad. Let me see if I can. Okay. Have to drop the walls on the other side. So you head up the stairs, and as you kind of make your way up, so they kind of go up and they switch back around, and it opens up into a more wide area. There appear to be spaces throughout different rooms, but this center area is a bit more open. But at least from right where you're standing, I mean, you can see about what you can. Let me.
Yeah, sorry. It's hard for me to see that part of the map.
You're good. Let me. Are you looking on Fantasy Grounds itself, or are you
Yes,
looking on my
yes.
screen?
Yes, but I can switch to looking on your screen.
I'm just zoomed in. That's why I asked. Let me see if I
Okay.
can remember how I drew walls.
Okay, yeah, I can see
You
that.
know what? I'm gonna. Okay. Oops. Okay, that's good enough for me. Okay. So. Alright, so as you get up here, you don't hear too much more motion than you did before. But the area is definitely much more open than the first floor. At least from what you can see. So go ahead and take over, and I will be here if you have any questions.
Okay, well, we said we wanted to take a left since we were told right.
And if we run into anybody, we'll just say, "Oh, sorry." Got left and right confused again. Everyone does that.
Yes, exactly. So, do we notice any more guards or anything about?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay, or I guess what do we notice will be the better question.
Yeah, sorry, I should probably give you a good description as you get up here.
Oof,
2
that's
again.
not great.
So here in the open area, you don't hear anyone or see anything particularly out of the ordinary. You notice there's these desks here, and each one is very ornate, very well crafted. They appear to be of wood construction and have, a number of statues, flags on the wall above them. There are a couple plants in the area, though they do not appear as well kept as what you would expect. They're not dying, but they are also not particularly healthy. If they continue to not be taken care of the way that they have, then it's very possible that the plants will not survive very long. The floor is inlaid with an interesting pattern like what you can see, just dark stone next to the lighter stone like what you saw from the outside of the building and like what was on the ground floor. But the area is a bit dirtier. It's not in a government building like this, especially like what you would expect in a palace. You'd expect servants and others to be cleaning it regularly. It's being used. However, there's the occasional place where you can actually see a streak of blood or a smudge of dirt that doesn't look new.
Alright, we're ready
Okay.
to go.
Oh, did you say something? Oh, okay. Okay. Then real quick, I'm going to jump over to you guys. Okay, Hestia and Gabriel. What is your plan? You notice that you're able to tell that the guards here kind of have alternating routes so that they're not both looking in the same place at the same time, but that between the two of them, a majority of the area appears to be watched at any given time. So how would you like to proceed through? Because, I mean, the route pretty much goes from, you see him go from here down to where he can see the entrance, and back up here to where he can kind of see into the stairway area. And the other guard seems to do the same.
I'm going to tell my owl to make a distraction, is my idea. Does that sound good, Gabriel?
Yep. I'll follow you.
Okay, what would you like your owl to do?
It's going to fly in the guard's face and screech and go the opposite direction as we are.
Okay. Alright, where would it go? Would it go out the door? Would it just go
No,
down
it's
to
just
a
going to
different part
start
of the building?
flying. It's going to lead them just straight back to where we were, and like to the open area
Okay.
where those tables were.
Yeah.
And just stay in there and fly around. And yeah.
Okay. Alright. Then, at an appropriate time, your owl flies down and attacks the guard. Kind of not necessarily trying to do damage, but just distract it, get in its face. And the guard draws its sword and takes a swing at the owl. He misses, but according to your direction, the owl then led him down that way. Go ahead and roll a bluff check for me. Because as the owl is going to kind of make sure to go slow enough to not just leave him behind. Okay, so without too much difficulty, the owl kind of leads the guard down this way, and the two of you have an opening based on timing to slip in. Go ahead and give me stealth checks. If you want to move full speed, you'll take a -10. However, given the circumstances, you timed it, so you shouldn't have any one coming through. Okay. So you slide into the hallway, and you quickly make your way. Would you just go to follow where Nomad and would you just follow where Nomad and Tiffany went?
Yes.
Okay. As you're going, you're running, you're kind of doing a low run past this area. However, Gabriel, as you pass one of the standing displays on the side, you're watching to make sure that you're not being noticed by the guard. Your foot ends up catching the display, and it crashes to the ground. You're able to get past, but the display hits the ground nearby. So you guys got to here, but not without making some noise.
I'm going to Gabriel, move on. I'm going to act like I made it. I look and smell like an undead. So you keep moving and I'll take care of it myself.
Okay. I'll do that. I'll keep moving.
I'm going to start I'm gonna just start bumping into the wall like an idiot. And just over and over and over again, just near the display case.
Okay.
And act kind of like I'm broken. Yeah.
Okay. I need you to give me another bluff check for you to emulate a mindless undead. I presume that's what you're doing.
Yes.
Actually, is there a way that I can quietly bless her before I go?
You could. Give me a wisdom check right now. You have that idea, although you do consider that Bless would leave behind an aura, and she's trying to pass herself off not only as an undead, but as a mindless undead. And so we're anyway.
I'm just gonna go.
Okay. Alright, Hestia, you kind of bumble your way back over to where the display is. And Gabriel, you make your way up the wall.
And can I ready
Up the stairs.
I'm going to ready a sleep spell on the 2 guards.
Are you going to try and pass yourself off as a mindless undead, or are you going to try and
Yes,
ready a
just in
sleep
case they start acting suspicious that I'm really a human, I will just ready a sleep spell.
So, readying a spell is going to be a separate action completely.
Okay.
What you're just wanting to have me keep that in mind, that you're wanting to be ready to do that if that happens, which won't speed up the actual doing of it, but it will just let me be more prepared.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Then never mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
So
care.
the door at the far end of the hall opens, and a knight dressed completely in black steps out as a guard runs up from the other hallway, and the knight in black looks at the guard and says, "What is going on?" The guard responds, "There appears to be a bird that's causing a disturbance up here." "Take care of it," she says. And she turns and looks at you, Hestia. Okay, so you had a 20 bluff. She walks up to you. And as she gets to you, you're trying to pass yourself off as if you are not totally in control of what's going on. And she reaches down, and with a very strong and firm grip, she seizes you by the throat, lifts you up, and looks at you. She casts a spell. Go ahead and give me a spellcraft check, real quick. And tell me if you're going to interject in any of this.
Are you talking to me?
Oh, sorry, I just realized you're not at your computer. I'll make the check for you. Or actually, no, you have been making rolls. You are at your computer. Make a spellcraft check, Hestia. Because the knight in black comes up to you, grabs you by the throat, and with the other hand casts a spell. You recognize Detect Undead. She looks at you, although you can't see her eyes, but she kind of sizes you up. Defective, worthless piece of trash. And she tosses you to the ground. Doesn't pay you too much of any thought, at least from what you can tell. Do you just what do you do when she throws you to the ground?
I'm going to just stand there as if I'm just waiting.
Okay. She looks at the fallen display and looks at you again, and then turns back towards the stairs, cocks her head, and begins cautiously walking towards the stairs. The rest of you. You heard the loud crash, Tiffany and Nomad, and as you heard the crash, after not more than a few seconds, Gabriel comes up the stairs behind you. You're able to tell fairly quickly that it's him, though I'd presume that you'd have at least a few seconds. Would you do anything before he came up, do you think? Or would you continue to try and play off your disguise?
I would not pay him any heed.
Okay.
Me neither. I would just continue on with the ruse.
Okay. Alright, so then, Gabriel, you get up to Tiffany and Nomad. And you see the same area that they're at the top of the stairs. So, what do you do?
As I'm going by, I would point at Nomad and kind of mouth like he did it, and just try and find a place to hide.
Okay.
After the lady goes, I'm gonna start following her.
Okay. Noted.
Like, just acting like idly.
We'll get there in
Yeah.
a moment.
Yeah.
Because these are happening in tandem, so I want to handle them at the same time. Or handle them bit back to back. Okay, so Gabriel, you're going to run out into the big area and try and find a place to hide?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, give me a perception check. And what sort of area are you going to look for?
I don't know. Somewhere where I could get the most coverage.
You notice the two trees. Without leaving this big open area right here, you notice a door to the south. Let me mark it on here. You notice a
19.
door right here. And then there's the openings that you can see. Are you able to see your line of sight, by the way? With how I have this right now?
Yeah, I'm looking at the stream, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
So,
this is what you can see, and then down here at the purple line, this area right here, that is a door, and then everything else is what you can see right there.
okay, looks like they're going up to the left. So I'm gonna go to the right.
Are you going to go out into the hallway area, or are you going to try and hide behind one of the plants? What's
I'm
your...
gonna try and hide behind one of the plants.
Give me a stealth check. And then, Tiffany, do you react to this at all?
No, I'm gonna just try to keep my cool.
Okay. All right, Gabriel, which plant
23.
did you go to? There's top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. The top left and top right are the biggest plants.
Top right.
So you slip up behind... Yeah, you slip out behind this plant, and you hide there. Let me just so that I can remember. Got a 23 on that stealth check. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Tiffany. Gabriel just runs up past you, nods at Nomad for a moment, and then sprints over behind this plant and does his best to hide himself behind it.
Lovely. I'm gonna just look that direction and quirk an eyebrow and see if he does anything in response. But I'm not actually gonna go to it or anything. Kind of enough to see if there's an emergency or something. But
I'm just gonna go like this. Just
Go ahead and make a bluff check, Gabriel, to try and get that information across. I guess that can still show Gabriel's face.
Can I eat my fruit snacks now?
Oh yeah, no, it's been plenty of time.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, do you not have any ranks or a bonus for your charisma?
I should have a. I don't think I do.
Okay.
Thing is just a straight roll for me.
Alrighty. So Tiffany, you see him making motions with his hands, but what he means by it, you're not sure. But he is definitely trying to hide himself. And you did hear a loud clatter from the floor below. And for whatever is going on, there is a timer going, by the way.
Oh boy. Are there any guards or anything around that we can see?
Not that you can see from here.
Oh wait,
Well, we have a
Bluff
cover,
is a
so
class
we should
skill.
At least get going.
We'll take care of that later, Gabriel. Okay. What was that,
Okay.
Nomad?
We have our cover, so I mean, if there is guards, we're probably fine. So we should just get a move on, anyways.
Okay.
Despite Gabriel's best attempts at, ruining this entire operation for literally no reason, even though we had it under control, we should go up and go to the left.
Okay, I agree with that. So,
Okay, are you staying close to maintain that cover of prisoner?
Yes.
Okay.
yes.
All right. As you approach this part, you notice that there is another guard. Although, rather than on patrol, this guard is standing. Actually, I'm just gonna. Nope. This guard is standing in the corner, watching. Sword out, but point down. Probably not the best for the life of the sword, but point down, just standing largely at the ready, looking in your direction. He sees you, but he does not react.
Can I tell if he seems undead or human?
Go ahead and make a perception check. Or, yeah.
13. Natural 1.
You actually realize that it's not a guard. It is a statue of like it's a suit of armor that's just put there as a, what's it called? It's just a suit of armor put there as a decoration.
Okay, perfect.
So.
Okay, is there... What about... Are there any rooms or anything around, or is it still all open?
You can see down near where the suit of armor is located, there is a door. You can't see... The north of the building appears to be, at least from where you can see, a hallway, but to the south there is a door that you can see, and it kind of opens up. There's a bit more of a standing room, and then it looks like it opens up a bit more. So possibly more doors if you go further south.
Okay, then I would start leading us that direction.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and make another perception check for me.
Okay, if I could actually grab the die and not the entire character sheet. 18.
Okay, 18. As you enter this way, you can see multiple doors along the side. You can see a door here to the right where it kind of opens in. It's open a crack, but not enough for you to see anything, just enough to tell that it's a door that's not currently locked. And then, so each of these down here, you can't see through them. Each of them does appear to be closed. But in this area, it looks more like a sitting room. There's a few benches, and those couches, or not benches, tables, and then the couches that you can see. At each of the tables, there's a number of chairs, but down at the south, there appear to be more doors. But they are, let's see, with an 18 perception, the doors themselves appear to be, in contrast with the rest of the building, where it's a bit more dirty and smudged, they appear to be nicer, newer, and sturdier.
Okay. Do I notice anyone around, like any other guards or anything?
Nope. At least not from your
Okay.
perspective. It's just you two.
Then I would probably start heading towards one of those doors.
Okay. As you get to about here, you hear a sound behind you. Actually, oh, hold on. Let me check something. You hear a sound behind you, the clinking of metal boots, as Rudy enters the room behind you. Hestia, go ahead and give me a stealth check.
$28.
Okay, let me... One moment. Okay, so Rudy comes up behind you. Hestia, you are following up behind. And Gabriel, you will notice when Hestia comes up the stairs as well. Let me get her into the building. So, Gabriel, you notice the knight in armor come up the stairs, take a moment to examine the room. You notice her look to the right at the door here in purple that is undisturbed and unopened, and then you see her go out, or you see the figure go out here to the left. And as she gets to this point, right up behind you, Tiffany, you hear her say, "What are you doing here? I told you, the draining room."
I'm sorry, milady. I think I misheard your directions to where the draining room was. I was trying to find my way back to it.
Give me a bluff check. And you notice this time her helmet is on. And again, it's almost insectile in shape.
29.
That's a redemption roll for all those perception checks.
She points towards the door here to the right. And she says, "In there. Now."
Thank you, my lady. And I will kind of give a respectful nod as I go on my way, trying not to seem suspicious. As I do, if I can inconspicuously, I guess, nudge Nomad's hand so he knows to be ready to use the whip if necessary, and if I pass anywhere near where Gabriel is, I might look his direction just for him to be on guard,
Okay.
but I'd be trying to be as inconspicuous as possible as I walk the direction.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check.
Light up.
Yeah.
I'll keep accidentally moving my entire character sheet.
Okay.
23.
Without too much difficulty, as you're leading Nomad over, you hold the whip in such a way that to an outside observer it looks like you're doing exactly what you're trying to make it look like you're doing. That you have him tied up and are doing that, but really you're holding him in such a way that Nomad could with relative ease grab the whip and arm himself with it without any more difficulty than he would normally. Satisfactory?
Yes.
Okay. So, as you get to this room, it's actually not a table in the center. There is etching in the stone. You can see that there is kind of space there, possibly staining from out on the outside of the ring where everything else is a bit more worn than in the middle. Whatever was done here in the stone is a bit more new, but there is a pillar with places to chain someone to it. And you notice etchings into the ground that seem to be little, cavities to collect something. Possibly even to collect fluid. Because most everything kind of channels it into one of these pools at the base of the etching in the ground. Do you do anything when you enter the room?
Is there anyone else in there?
There is currently no one else in the room, though there is a scent reminiscent of dried blood, and not necessarily the scent of rotting, but a scent of death in here. In addition, there is a decent amount of staining on the ground. Red. And then there is the door to the north, which
I was
you
just
can...
about to ask if there's
you
another
can-
door.
yeah, which you can presume leads to the other area. Hestia, how far would you stay behind?
Really, I would just maybe like 10 feet.
Okay,
I'm wanting it, if she does notice me, I want it to be apparent that I think I'm supposed to be following her.
okay, so you're close enough that obviously following her in a subservient fashion.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wait, so Gabriel's behind that door then, to the north?
yes, Gabriel is here to the north
Okay.
through this door behind the plant. And Gabriel, if you want to, at this point you've seen both the Dark Knight and Hestia move past. So let me know if you want to step in, and I will not be noticing if you send something in Discord, because I am very much watching just my screen at the moment.
No problem. Yeah, I'll come down, but I'll still stealth. Best I don't know if there's anybody else around.
Okay.
So, do I re-roll a stealth
Yes,
roll
please give
for
me
that?
another. Actually, I will roll the stealth check for you, although I guess that won't matter because you can see it anyway. But same thing as before, anyway. All right. Okay,
Mm.
Hestia, what was your stealth check again?
28.
Okay. So, Tiffany, as you make your way into that room, and Hestia, as you're following behind, Rudy follows up behind and watches as you go inside the room. Do you close the door at all, or do you leave it open?
I would close it.
Right, then I will treat that as closed. Hestia, do you make any effort to hide yourself behind any of the counters of the walls? Or do you
A
just
little bit.
stay out in the open? Okay. I need you to give me one more bluff check. Actually, hold on. I'm going to roll that one for you as well. Okay. Just so that you don't know what it is that you get. So, Hestia, as you're following behind, Rudy doesn't seem to notice you. And she makes her way past where Tiffany and Nomad went into the door. So you're staying behind. She comes in and she goes up to this door to the right. And you notice another suit of armor here against the wall. And after examining the door for a moment, the Black Knight goes into the room. Would you attempt to follow her in?
I would knock down the next display thing.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Which one? There's 3 here. I'll let you tell me which one you're gonna do.
I would. Give me a second. And where are they?
They're these shapes here. These black shapes.
Okay.
Right next to your character there's one. There's one here, here, and here.
Okay, it would be the one closest to them.
Okay. Gabriel, are you doing anything at this point?
Have I seen?
You've seen nothing past when Hestia went through this opening to the left.
And then do I hear Hestia's ruckus of dropping the?
That has not happened yet. Are you just going to wait where you're at?
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for
Okay.
5
Tiffany.
rounds.
Tiffany, Nomad. You've closed the door behind you. What do you do after you close the door?
I'm going to ask Nomad, what should we do here? We don't have much time before she'll probably come in and make sure I secured you. So, we probably need to come up with something now. I'd whisper it too, just in case there was something around that, like, I didn't know.
So all that's in here is those pillars and then the drain. And that's it? Are there any, like, implements for this? Or
Yes, there are a number of
or not?
implements on the wall, though they are not things designed as weapons, more for tools of torture, or probably relating to the name of the room, draining blood. But other than that, I mean, this room looks like it's been turned into a room of torture, or at least of draining people. Though, based on the tools that you're seeing, it's probably meant to drain people, but still to keep them alive for as long as possible.
like a slow hanging?
Somewhat. Actually, go ahead and give me an intelligence check. Let's see how the dice like you today.
Both of us?
Just Nomad.
That's what I'm talking about.
You can't tease out any other reason that it would be set up like this. Just to drain blood. Sorry, one moment. Let me... Okay. What do you do in here? So you've just closed the door. You've examined the room. Anything, or do you just wait?
I guess I'm not sure how to ask this question. Is the draining area set up to where someone, if they're hung up, is going to, like, somehow be tortured and drained given the devices at hand, or does it look more like someone else has to be actively involved the entire time?
It looks like someone has to be actively involved, at least to get it started. Though, you would wager that if any blood were to drop, or anything else any other liquid were to drop at anywhere within the circle, it would make its way to one of the pools. The center is a bit more raised, and there's kind of small channels that spiderweb their way towards one of the pools at any point in the floor.
Okay.
Are there, like, chains and handcuffs to tie people up?
Yes.
Or...
Yes.
Okay, well, that's just simply not going to fly. We can't pretend to tie me up, because if somebody comes in, I'll most assuredly be at their mercy, which just... Yeah, no, that's not going to work.
Well, I kind
I
of
can-
thought of. Go ahead.
I can sit here, and I can, after just a moment, after you leave, I can just, or, just start screaming, and then you can leave after a moment, and then I can just continue that. And I can just be prepared to silence anybody that, tries to come in to check on how things are going, I guess.
Yeah,
And
that was
you can
kind
just-
of my explanation.
Yeah, and you can maybe grab Gabriel to see if you can just find Maleth. I'll just try to buy you as much time as possible.
Hey. Well, that sounds like as good of a plan as any. The one thing is that I think she had just told me to shackle you in here, and she made it sound like someone else would do the torturing. So I'm not certain whether the scream is going to be a good thing to make her think things are going along as they should, or if it's going to tip her off that they aren't.
Well, she said that she... Okay, well, never mind. Actually, you're right.
Make a perception check, both of you. Gabriel as well.
Is there a way we can rig the chains to make it look like I'm shackled when I'm in reality not? Like, can
Yeah.
they... Where do we
You
go?
could, but you hear something loud coming from outside of this room, more in the hallway.
Okay, as soon as I hear it, I'll try to push him more towards that area just to make it look like I'm in the process of something,
Okay.
in case
So-
someone comes.
Gabriel, you also hear the loud clatter. Sounds exactly like what happened downstairs.
Okay, I'm just gonna stay put for about 30 more seconds now to see if anything else happens near me.
Okay. Hestia, you knock the display to the ground. And as you do so, the knight in black steps out of the room again, looks at you, and says, "You again." She turns to the suit of armor to the side and says, "Dispose of this faulty zombie. Someone's been throwing their disfigured creations in our domain. Something's amiss here." And then she goes back into the room. The suit of armor mobilizes and begins moving towards you, Hestia. Blade drawn.
Let me think of what I need to do.
Go ahead and make a perception check really quick. You recognize that this is a skeleton knight of some sort. Suited up in heavy armor. Not a full plate, but certainly not inexpensive medium armor or anything less ornate. Okay, the clock's ticking fast.
Okay.
What you do? Actually, Gabriel, you heard that exchange.
I
by the
did.
way.
Okay.
So you, I don't know where you would be, but you heard her say, "Kill this faulty zombie. Someone's been throwing their disfigured creations in my domain."
Okay, so I would pop out.
Everybody,
and-
or Gabriel and Hestia, I need you both to roll initiative. At this point. Let me toss up the combat tracker.
3.
16.
Okay, let me... Okay. Alright. Gabriel, your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna pop out and see if, see if I can find out where the exchange is
Oops.
coming from.
1 second, I have a wall screwed up here. Okay. So right here, you can see this soldier, or this armored skeleton, has raised his sword and is preparing to strike something out of sight. You can't see into this room, by the way, where this is. I drew these walls last time and I wasn't sure what I was doing with the tool, so.
Okay,
Ignore
and
that.
I cannot see the lady.
Yep, you cannot see that whole area. If it helps right now, I will do this. There. You can see that the door is open and it goes into a room, and that's about it. Okay, clock's ticking.
Okay, I'm gonna rush up behind the Black Knight.
Okay, go ahead and move down. The Black Knight or the knight that's getting ready to strike down whoever is...
The armor.
Okay.
That's going to strike down.
Okay, one move action gets you to about here. And you can see that it's Hestia.
Okay.
Or at least you can recognize the zombie he's going to strike down as Hestia.
Okay.
Anything else you're doing? Hestia, you're up next.
That's it for now for me.
Okay, Hestia, what do you do? Actually, Gabriel, are your weapons drawn?
I'm going to draw my Dwarven War Axe.
Okay. Hestia, what do you do? The knight is preparing to strike you. You are muted, by the way. I can't hear you.
I'm going to turn into a tree.
What do you do to turn into a tree?
Cast tree shape.
I'm sorry, I laughed so hard that you guys couldn't hear. I'm gonna turn into a tree? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Tree shape. Let me look that up. What does it do?
I gain a +10 natural armor bonus to AC, and I am immune to a critical hit spell in tree form. And I can dismiss the tree shape as a free action. But yeah.
Okay.
Merry Christmas.
Okay. Let me double check what that puts your AC at, because you do lose your dexterity score completely. So you do have a bonus to your AC total of +2 when you take this. You get a +10 natural armor, but you lose 8 due to your dexterity dropping to 0. Let's see, what does that put your AC at? 15. That's right, you don't wear armor. Actually, you do have a breastplate. Hold on. Never mind. Okay. It just doesn't have it equipped. Okay. That looks better. Okay, so with a 21 AC. Let me... Alright. You turn into a tree. And here, yeah, okay. So you turn into a tree and the knight strikes you. The blade hits your... oh gosh.
Bark.
Yeah, it hits your bark. And it clings off. And... yeah. It is... The skeleton looks there, very surprised. And it takes another swing. One moment. Oh my gosh. Give me a moment. Yes, Thomas.
You guys didn't think I'd turn into a tree on you guys, did you?
Yeah, I can only imagine how this one undead is feeling.
He's feeling like a fool.
Strike down. Strike undead down. Got it. Tree. Does not compute.
Yeah, I thought he would just stop, to be honest.
That's what I was
It's
hoping.
like, oh, there's no undead here. Anyways, and he just stands there.
Technically, a tree isn't undead. So,
Question I need to pass
I guess-
to you guys really quick. Are
I
there...
guess I could be an undead tree.
Yeah, you are an undead tree now. But there's an important question I need to know the answer to. Are there potato crisps in this planet?
Yes.
Okay, right. That is what Thomas asked me. Tiffany and Nomad, you hear the sound of metal striking metal coming from somewhere else? Like, the sound is weird, but I mean, it sounds like metal striking metal-ish. I guess it would still be wood, even if she still has her armor bonus from her armor. So, okay, no, you hear the sound of a loud thump coming from outside, or thunk. Would you react at all? Investigate.
No.
Do you think that might be Gabriel?
Ugh, yeah, I don't even want to think about it. See if you can just rig the chains, and then try to find Meleth.
Okay.
Go ahead
I'm
and
going
make.
to try. Okay, yeah.
I was going to say sleight of hand if you want to rig up the chains in such a way that he can kind of get himself onto them without actually being secured by them.
Would also want to make sure he had access to his whips somehow during.
You can easily hide it on
Okay.
his body.
Okay.
Because,
Oh,
okay, I assume, like, the handcuffs are just like... Well, actually, you know what, never mind.
You're able to hold your hands up, Nomad, so that, and she like places things just so that to a passing glance you look like you're secured, but really you're kind of just holding your hands up in such a way and the handcuffs are out like resting on you without actually being secured to you.
Okay. And is there any, like, device that she can hook up for the time being?
Do you want you to be actually hooked up?
If we can feign that too.
Oh,
that
I
would
see what you're
be
saying. So
sufficient.
no, it doesn't appear that there's anything to hold the bleeding. It seems like hooking you up and then manually bleeding you would the way that things are done in here.
Okay. Then, yeah, I'm good to just sit there. I'll just be ready
Okay.
to pull out my whip at a moment's notice.
Okay. Okay, so there's that.
I'll turn to that. I would like to cast cast bull strength on myself, just
Okay.
in case. And then that's it.
All right, Gabriel. What you see
Yes.
is the Black Knight comes out of the room. Oh, now I put a wall there so we can't see. The Black Knight opens the door, and she sees you. In her left hand, she holds a limp Maleth by the throat. And she sees you. Her eyes narrow. And she reaches forward and casts a spell. Make a will save. Do you have do you have spellcraft as a trained thing that you can
I
tell
believe
spells?
so.
Yeah. You can make a
Let's
spellcraft
see.
check if you want as well. But then I need a will save.
Spellcraft.
Okay.
26
You recognize
for the
that she
spellcraft.
cast Hold Person.
Well, under combat.
He opened a door and saw this?
She casts Hold Person on you, and as you recognize what she's doing, Gabriel, your limbs stiffen. She steps forward. Can you guys see her? She was appearing weird. Okay. There. That should fix it. Okay. So your limbs stiffen. You will get an additional save every round, but I believe that lasts 1 round per caster level. Let me double check that. Yes. Okay, so you will be held for a number of rounds, though you will get an additional save every round. So she steps forward, Maleth held limply by her throat, and then she moves over this way. And she says to the guard, ignore the bloody tree. Kill the man. And as she comes this way, she calls out, "To arms! We're under attack!" And Tiffany, you and Nomad hear this.
Okay, well, in that case, before I left Nomad, I'd be like, you sure you want to continue this plan, or should we join the fray?
Join the fray. And I will take my whip and start heading towards the nearest exit.
Okay, give me an initiative, both of you. An initiative roll. Okay.
I think you've only rolled over a 10 once, and same with me.
Except for that bluff check, have not been.
Let me get this to a better spot. Nope, there's not a better spot. Gotta make this smaller. That will work. Okay. Gabriel, your turn. Give me a will save.
Another will save. Hey,
Okay, at the end
26.
at the end of this turn, you will regain control of yourself.
Okay.
The knight in black continues to move herself this way. And let's see, I'm going to give you, let's say, okay. Okay, so she moves over this way. Sword still in her sheath, but Maleth by the throat. And this other knight steps forward and begins moving in this direction. Nomad, your turn. The door is closed, so you don't know what's going on, but you can hear a commotion coming from outside. So you're up.
Alright. going to
Hestia,
cast
you're on
Channel
deck.
Vigor
Okay.
on myself.
Okay, I'm going to
Y-
drop
you're
being a
next.
tree.
You're not.
Oh.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you're good.
And then I'm going to run outside.
Okay, so it'll be. What kind of action is Channel Vigor? Is that a free action or a move action?
It's a standard action.
Okay, so you'll be able to get to the door and Channel Vigor, and that will be your turn, because it is closed.
That gives me haste.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Okay, then I will let you get to the door, and if you don't want to open it, you can just crash through it. Otherwise, you'll have to open the door, and then that's your turn.
I'll crash through it.
Okay. Give me a strength check. And actually, no, you have... Are you able to add your dexterity to your combat maneuvers on all combat maneuvers, or is it just trips?
Just trip.
Okay. So, you tackle and break through the door, just shattering the... the closing mechanism, the locking mechanism, though it wasn't locked. But you shatter right through the door, and you're able to get through... I'll give you another 20 feet of movement afterwards.
Okay.
Hestia, your turn. So yeah, at this point, Nomad, you see Maleth held by this black guard, the two knights, one next to Hestia, one closer to you.
Alright, I'm going to... I'm going to cast Entangle around the
whole area?
Just the area where the skeleton and the lady are.
So,
if possible.
okay, over here to the left.
I don't know where the lady is.
Are you able to see the map?
Yes, I see where I am and the skeleton warrior are. I just
So,
don't see where the lady is.
Over to the left is where the lady is.
Okay. I'm going to actually cast it over to the left where those two enemies are.
Okay. What is the area of effect of Entangle?
40 feet radius.
Okay. So you could do pretty much, let's see, 10. You could do this entire section of the building with Entangle. Or you can cast it in a different place and...
Well, I think I'll cast it just out of reach of Nomad. Just as close to that as I can get.
Okay. So it will be... Let me... Here, I'll draw it. So it's pretty much going to be this entire area. And it also snakes up a little bit onto the walls. Sorry, one moment. I need to grab something. Sorry about that. Okay, so Nomad, the area just beyond you, over where the enemies are, begins to cover itself with vines. And the vines are snaking over the, what's it called, the tables, and they begin to try and grab hold of both the knight and the Blackguard. Let me give some saves right here.
Is that Rudy?
Yes, that is Rudy.
Okay.
Okay. Do you do anything else, Hestia?
I am going to move over to here.
Okay.
Possible.
You can go ahead and end your drawing mode and just move your character over there.
Okay.
Do you know how to end? Yeah. Okay. Tiffany, your turn.
Okay, well, obviously first I'm going to move to, I guess, where everyone else is. Where is everyone else? Sorry. I
At
can't
least
see.
Nomad is out here. Yeah, that's
Okay.
good, Hestia. Do you want to move any closer, Hestia, or just stop there?
I want to still be in range of Gabriel.
Okay, he is completely out of sight right now for you.
I know.
Yeah. I am wondering what I'm seeing in terms of enemies where.
Okay, so are you able to see them on the screen right now?
Not really, not well anyway. I see Nomad's token and 2 other tokens. I'm not sure who's who.
I'm gonna make
And-
them bigger. I'll just make everyone bigger. Does that help?
Yeah, I can see it on your screen way better than mine.
Okay. But at least right now, there's these 2 right here.
Right where? Sorry.
Right here and here.
Okay. Whatever one seems like the most distracted and easy to get to, I will go to attack with my sword.
Okay, so this whole area is covered in vines at the moment. So you
Oh.
could move over there, but that would put you in range of that at the moment.
Okay, well then I wouldn't do that. Is there anyone else that looks like that? I'm sorry, I'm still having like trouble seeing on my screen.
You're good. So I believe I want to say you've got your short sword. Okay, you probably have daggers as well if you want to throw any of those, but unless you're wanting to get close.
Yeah, I mean, if I have daggers, I could throw. I would. I just didn't see it
Yeah.
in the character.
No, you're good. I didn't put all of that stuff on there that I might have. Yeah, so you can toss daggers for sure.
Okay,
Just
if I can do
use
that,
the-
that sounds.
Yeah, just use the same stats for the short sword, and then I will account for that. You will not be able to get sneak attack in this circumstance, so just do the
Yeah, I
regular
figured I
attack.
would. So I use that for the attack roll. Is the damage roll the same, or?
It's going to be slightly different, but it's not too different. Okay, go ahead and roll
Okay.
damage.
Okay, is that still 6d6? Or
No, that's the
1d6.
sneak attack, yeah.
yeah. Sorry, I looked at the wrong one. So 1d6. Well, there we go.
Okay, so that will be... I believe, actually, you should have just a... I think that'll be plus your strength, but you don't have a strength score. Okay, so you're able to toss the daggers. Who would you throw them at? The closer knight or the far knight?
Say the far one.
Okay. So you throw your dagger, and the dagger sticks, but... So it finds place in between the armor, but it doesn't appear to do anything. She doesn't appear affected by it.
Okay, well, I obviously made the wrong
she-
choice there.
She turns to you and says, I should have known better. You've made a mistake. A serious mistake coming here. You will all die. Okay. The first knight over here moves towards you, Gabriel, and swings down at you. What's your AC?
21.
Okay. With your limbs still frozen, he brings the sword down, and you can just tell this is going to hurt. Then all of a sudden, as you are, pretty much right before the strike hits, you're able to regain enough control of your limbs to duck, and the sword whooshes right above you. It takes off a decent amount of hairs on the top of your head, but you can feel this thing like grabbing the hair as it goes over you, but the sword misses getting a full cut, at least doesn't connect, and you are no longer held personed. But the knight looks down at you and swings again, and loves rolling really low. So he brings the sword down again, and once again you're able to, where before, you kind of were able to just move your torso and duck enough to dodge the blow. This time you're able to get your legs moving, and as he's right here, you're able to kind of get away to the side of him. Not enough, you can't really see what's going on down the hallway, but you can hear some talking and some movement. The other knight, however, let's see. He steps away from the vines, and he gets up to about right here. Nomad, I presume you're armed. What range do you threaten?
15 feet around me.
Okay. Yeah, so he will provoke an attack of opportunity, absolutely, as he moves through. I think, as he gets to here, he provokes that attack of opportunity. If you would like to take it.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack roll. Are you doing an attack or a trip? Or something else altogether?
Whoops. My bad. Just gonna go for a regular attack.
Okay. You strike with your whip, but it glances off his armor.
Okay.
He doesn't appear to have any reaction. You can tell as you're this close to him, he is a skeleton underneath the armor, though it's only through bits and pieces. It's probably a breastplate, possibly even a half plate that he's got on. But he steps forward and takes a swing at you. What's your AC?
17.
He swings, except as he's stepping forward, his swing is interrupted as a vine, still reaching out, trying to grab a hold of him, catches hold of the blade as he swings. And so he wrenches it through and cuts the vine, but his swing comes at you with such clumsiness and such low speed that you're able to very easily just sidestep it and not get hit by it without any issue. From there, though, so he swings and lands down to your right, and he steps forward and gives another strike, going the other direction. And these knights, they hate the dice tonight. So once again, you're able to kind of just backpedal just enough that the blade goes right in front of you and misses.
No wonder Rudy was complaining about defective merchandise.
Yep, even her own. Okay. Oh, actually, hold on. Did she go? Yeah, okay. Gabriel, your turn.
All right. Well, I'm muted. Okay, yes,
Yep.
I am.
No, we can hear you.
Okay. Great. I'm assuming that I ducked down, so I crouched down, and that's when he cut some hair off.
Yep.
And then he tried to swing again. So while I was still crouched, I just took a quick 5-foot step back.
Back to the side. whichever you'd like.
Okay.
I had moved you to the side, but
Yeah.
you can go.
Yeah. No, that's fine. That's where you moved me is fine.
Okay, perfect.
so
So you pretty much ducked under
I'm
this
gonna
blow.
see. What's that?
You pretty much ducked under this blow and moved to the side, staying close to him, but moved under the blow rather than getting away from him. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's perfect. But I'm gonna see that he cut some of my beautiful red mane off. Well, not the mane, but hair off.
Mm-hmm.
And while I'm still crouched down, holding the already wielding my dwarven war axe, I am going to attack this thing
Okay, go ahead.
twice. I'm gonna do a full attack.
Okay, give me
Yeah,
both attack
so-
rolls. Go ahead.
So that's
First attack
the
is a
first
hit.
one, and then the second one is a -6, right?
-5.
-5. Okay, so just subtract 5 from this one. So a 22 and a 15.
So go ahead and give me damage on your first roll. So you swing your first roll, you get a very solid connection, but with the tight spacing, as you bring your axe around to try and get a second hit on him, he raises his arm and he's able to brush aside the blow, and so you're just not able to swing it well enough to get a good hit on the second attack. But give me damage on the first.
Okay. So it's D10.
Okay, and Nomad, get ready. You are going to be after the Death Knight.
Okay.
So it's D10 plus
It'll be plus
3,
your
so
strength.
that's a 10.
Are you going one-handed
So that's
or
a 10.
two-handed with this?
Oh, that's a two-handed.
Okay, so that will be...
So I said a D12 instead.
No. That will just... You'll add an extra +1 from your strength.
Okay, so that's 11 total.
Okay. Alright. So, you're able to find one of the gaps in his armor with that hit, and he has no visible reaction, but you can tell that some of the bones underneath you were able to damage with that hit. Okay. Anything else, or are you done
Okay.
with your turn? Actually, I guess unless you've got a simple action to use, there's nothing else.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do. I'm just trying to figure the name of it again. What is it? I'm going to use my judgment
Okay.
as an immediate action, which is protection. So get a +1 to AC plus another 5 for another +1 for every 5 levels. So that is a
Okay.
+2 to my AC
Is it only against
And so
him,
I'm
or
going
is it in
to-
general?
in general.
All right.
So that's gonna raise my AC for a little while.
Okay.
Let me double check for how long.
All right. The knight in black looks around at all the and by the way, she still has Maleth by the throat in her left hand.
The one that was attacking me?
No, the one on the other end. So if you're watching my screen, the one who's highlighted now, the one in the black armor. So these two knights are skeleton knights that are just in, oh gosh, what's it called? Let me see if I have a picture for the black knight. But the skeleton knights just are skeleton knights in half plate. The knight,
Okay.
the other knight, however,
Also, real quick, my judgment lasts until the end of combat.
okay. Do you have options to change it, or Does that?
I
just
can
allow
drop
us-
it,
Okay.
or I
so you
can change it.
Okay, so you can drop it,
Yeah.
change it, or just keep it.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I had a good picture, but I'm not going to worry about it right now for the Death Knight. But yeah, 2 skeletons, but then the Death Knight is in very noticeable full plate, wicked looking, spikes all over it, and all the tips of every spike are coated red. You're not sure if it's paint or dried blood, but the entire armor is just dark black with red accents all over it. And as she is surveilling the rest of you, she's got Maleth by the throat still. She raises her right hand, and actually, everybody except for Gabriel, give me a perception check. Nomad made the perception check this time. Hestia and Tiffany, perception from you. Otherwise, Nomad, you notice something long and sinuous, and actually, so all of you notice something long and sinuous come out of her hand, appearing to go up and snake its way up to the ceiling. And then at that point, it's kind of hard to see, but Hestia and Tiffany, you're able to notice that whatever it is a very long and large snake that was either nestled somewhere within the armor or was conjured or something. You didn't notice anything to conjure it, so it may have come within the armor. But it goes to the ceiling, and then she looks at all of you and she points her finger towards you, Tiffany. And red rays of fire streak towards you. What is your touch AC? You're muted, by the way.
I just realized that 15.
Okay, so 15. The... What would it be at this level? So 2 bolts of fire hit you, and it burns. It burns very hot, leaving scorch marks all over the place. It is, let's see, that would be... You're going to take 35 points of damage. Ooh, actually, hold on. That was 1 extra dice. Drop 10. You're going to take 25 points of damage.
Okay.
I can do it on here.
Okay, I'll let you do that then.
Okay. So you take 25 points of damage, and she says, "I'm not sure who you are, but you've chosen the wrong place to come. The king has given me specific orders that his prize here is not to be lost to any intruders. You'll not have her. Not alive by any means."
Say, what makes you so sure we want her?
You get no reaction. Ginger. Well, if you hear some barking in the background, it's because my dog is having a dream. Okay, she doesn't respond to you, Tiffany. Nomad, it's your turn. Hestia, you are on deck.
Okay, I'm going to cast.
Hestia, you're on deck, not up.
Okay.
Nomad,
Sorry.
your turn. You're good.
Okay, well, I really wish I had the staff now.
Where did you have it?
Well, I always have it on me. I didn't specify that I would leave it behind when I left my armor behind. But yeah, I don't know.
If you want, I will call high or low. Let's see if you had the foresight to
Hi.
secrete it on yourself somewhere. Let me give you 50% chance. Ooh, wow. 98. You were actually, you had, not only did you have the foresight to do so, to secrete it on yourself, but you did it in such a way that you have ready enough access to it that you can pull it out.
What is the radius on the
It is that purple line on the entangle.
the radius of the protection spell that it casts?
Personal. Oh wait, no, we had talked about it.
It was mass.
Okay, you're right. Let me pull up the spell. Let me double check. Creatures touched.
Wish it worked like it did in DDO.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I'm going to swift cast resist energy fire on Tiffany.
Okay.
And that will be 20 fire resist she'll receive
So
for the next few minutes.
what is it that lets you swift cast that? Is that your
Fervor.
fervor? Okay. What can you? Oh, is fervor? You can pick certain things that you can use it for.
It's the mini lay on hands, or you can use it to swift cast a spell.
Okay, cool. That is sweet. I guess you're what's it called? That's right. You're not an offensive caster, so that doesn't let you do things like drop a ton of fireballs in a round. Okay.
Yeah, that would be horrifically broken.
Yeah, but for buffs, yeah, that's totally awesome for the class. Okay, so you give her resist fire.
Yeah, yeah, and that's 20 points, and then I'll use the protection from elements on myself. What caster level is that?
You're not sure.
Okay.
So okay,
When I use it on myself, am I aware of the protection?
so here's
amount?
kind of how this goes. You've played around with the staff for a while, and for everybody else's context, you recognize him pull out the staff that he had originally stolen from the Lich. Way back when. From that first ambush. And you have played around with it enough to know for pretty certain what you can do with it, at least with respect to the protection from fire. You haven't gotten it to work before, so you kind of take this stab in the dark. And, whipping it out, you just pray that it works. Not to any god, of course. Not for you.
Of course.
Yeah, no, but you pray to the universe or to something. It's like, please work, please work, please work. And as you're trying to cast it, you feel a form of resistance to you trying to cast a spell, but you're able to push past it. And then in this moment, you're able to cast this protection spell. And you're able to include Tiffany in that protection as well, if you wish.
Yes.
Okay, so you give half of the duration to each of you. You're not sure what that is, but you're able to cast that.
Oh, Tiffany, you're stacked.
Yeah, very much so. Okay. That is... So you still have... Actually, no, that would have been your move, your standard, and your immediate action. So that will be your entire turn.
Okay.
The knight, as you do this, she says, pitiful. You come in so unprepared, so unaware of what dangers you face here.
You cut out what?
You come in here so unprepared, so unaware of the dangers that you will face here. Hestia, it is your turn.
I'm going to cast Ghostbane Dirge
Okay. What does that do?
On to. Sorry, it's just taking a. Yeah, I'm going to cast it on Nomad. It's going to turn him incorporeal. And while subject to the spell, the incorporeal creature takes half damage from non-magical item forms and full damage from magic, weapons, spells, spell-like effects, and supernatural effects.
Okay.
And
Well, Nomad, you are now incorporeal.
Thank you.
and
you-
then yeah, I'm gonna hold an action in case I need to move.
Okay. You can move, but you won't be able to hold an action. You used your standard action for your spell.
Okay. Then I'll move here.
Okay.
I'm gonna call out Gabriel. Are you okay? Can you handle him?
I'm good.
Okay.
Okay, Tiffany, your turn. Oh, this knight has now made his way up in melee range. Tiffany, you're up.
Well, is there anyone besides who I threw knives at before that I could easily attack in a similar way?
You could go behind. I mean, you can attack this knight, this skeleton knight right here, and if you got behind him, you could flank him with Nomad. And that would
I'll
allow
do
you to
that.
get yeah, okay.
I'll do that.
So you make your way behind him. Go ahead and make your attack, and that will be. You'll get a +2 for flanking, and then if it hits, you'll get your sneak attack dice as well.
What attack would that be? The sneak attack, or would that be the short sword or something else?
I'm trying to remember if they have attack bonuses on them. Yeah, just the sneak attack.
Okay, cool. So I'd roll to attack, and then the does that hit or not?
That does not hit.
Figured
Just
it would.
barely. So,
Okay.
even with the additional bonus that you get from flanking, you drive your blade in, and as you are seeking the opening right near his neck to kind of get your sword in and wedge it down, he shrugs his shoulder and just, you barely miss the spot.
Oof. Well,
Um,
I tried.
Everyone just like missing, rolling low like crazy this session. Nothing is
Absolutely
happening in
are.
this combat
Okay, let's see if
except the fire.
Okay, the knight next to you, Gabriel.
Mm-hmm.
Misses.
Let's see. What's your combat maneuver defense?
26.
Woo! Okay, with surprising suddenness, the knight lunges forward and grabs hold of you. And despite your best efforts, he pretty much pins you. Like, he just puts his whole weight on you, brings you to the ground, and you are stuck. The other knight, the one in between Tiffany and Nomad, without having any reaction to, having just almost been stabbed by Tiffany, he swipes forward with his gauntleted hand at you, Nomad. What's your CMB? Or CMD, sorry, against grapple.
I will say, to pin somebody, you do need to make 2 consecutive combat maneuvers.
He beat
take them
his
from grappled to
DC
pinned.
and had a nat 20.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. What's my CMD?
Yes, what's your CMD?
33.
Okay. So he swipes at you, trying to grab a hold of you with his hand. You easily, dodge that, and so he swings at you with his sword.
Seen that trick too many times before.
my gosh. What is your AC?
14.
Oh my gosh. Seriously? He still misses. Okay. So he misses. However, something drops from above you, Nomad. Something long and snake-like. In fact, it becomes very evident to you as the cobra drops down and tries to sink its teeth into your shoulder that this is a very large snake. Let me get a picture in Discord. Okay, so this snake is, now that it's fully out and about, it's probably about 6 to 7 feet long. And I'd say 3 or 4 inches in diameter.
Ugh.
And let me see if there's a good picture here. Alright, I'll drop a picture in Discord. Okay, so this snake drops down and its fangs embed themselves in your shoulder. It will do reduced damage because you are incorporeal at the moment. Oh. 1 second, let me find out what its damage is. Okay. Alright, and I will need a fortitude save from you. As you take, let's see, it would be... And I will handle behind the scenes if and what that poison does. But needless to say, you will take, let's see, that would be a total of 6 points of damage because of the, what's it called? I'll just put that on your thing. But you take 6 points of damage, and you can feel the gushing fluid go right into your shoulder.
Okay.
And you can hear a chuckle coming from the knight on the other side of the room from you. Gabriel, your turn.
Laughing because of how low it hit? Yeah, me too.
So I am pinned down. I am trapped.
You are pinned at the moment.
So
You can
okay, so I'm pinned down.
You can attempt to grapple to try and gain control, or you can attempt an escape artist check. I think those are your
Actually,
options.
I think I have a third option, but I'm
Okay,
double checking with you
Yep,
to see if
double
it is
check.
a legitimate option. There's a spell called Burst Bonds, where I can deal damage to my restraints. Since this is undead and it's the armor, can I use that spell? Is that something that makes sense, or
I
that
am
it-
totally
or
fine
is
with
that
that. Let me
stretching
double
it?
check. You said burst bonds.
yeah?
I like
I just
that.
wanted to know if that was stretching it too much for you, or
Verbal
or if you're
components
cool
is the
with
only
that.
component. And then one object or creature restraining you. So even that already. Okay.
Then
Oh,
we should've
nice.
tied you up, Gabriel.
Oh. That is perfect. Okay.
Well,
Yeah, go ahead. You cast the spell.
okay, so that is 1d6 per level, max of 5d6, so that's 5d6. Let's see. That's
Okay, hold on 1
5.
second. Okay, so normally the creature does not take the damage if it's grappling you. Given the circumstances, though, I'm going to have it take the damage.
Okay. Yeah, I was asking Bess, I wanted to know how you would rule that, but
Okay.
yeah.
Give me
So
a combat
5d6,
maneuver.
17.
Okay.
Combat
17,
maneuver.
yeah, combat maneuver to try and get out.
There's a nat 20.
Oh, Uno reverse card right there. Here's the best part. You cast this spell, and as you're casting a spell, you just like shove your arms outward, and the force of you doing that and casting the spell, both arms from about the elbow up shatter and just leave the skeleton. So the skeleton is still animated, but in casting the spell in and breaking the bonds, pushing out like this, and the grapple, you just demolished its arms. So, both gauntlets clatter to the floor on either side of you, and you're able to kind of push your way to the side, and you're still on the ground, but you're completely out of the grapple, and it kind of flumps to the ground beneath you with stumps at its elbows.
Nice. But is it still standing?
No, so it had pretty much, as it grappled you, it pretty much laid down and took you to the ground with it, and it was laying on top of you. And so you burst the bonds, you kind of just like right out like that, broke the elbows of this thing, and so the bones and everything inside the gauntlets kind of goes clattering in the other directions. And as you do that, you kind of like push yourself to the side, and so then this thing is just supporting itself on the stumps, and it kind of slips and just falls to the ground. So it's now on its belly, effectively.
So it's pretty much like playing Call of Duty Zombies. It's just like
gosh.
dragging itself.
I mean, it doesn't have arms. It doesn't have arms to drag it. They're both off at the elbow.
Well, the stumps.
Oh, yes. So yes, that is effectively exactly what happened right here. So, let's see. Yeah, I'll let you have a move action. You can get up if you want.
Yeah, I'll get up.
Okay. Yeah, it's just kind of there now.
Yeah, and I think that's my turn.
Okay. All right. Going back to the night. You can hear motion coming from the north, from the stairs area. You've got company soon. And you notice the knight step forward slowly because she's being somewhat restrained by the vines on the ground. And she says, let's see, what would she say? Give me a moment. I'm interested to know your motives in coming here. She holds up Maleth, still grasping her by the throat. Maleth is still limp at this time. Are you here for the girl? Or did you think to rob the king? After information, the more you give me now, the more quick and painless your deaths will be. But understand, you are not leaving these premises alive. No matter what tricks and surprises you may have brought with you. She begins to cast a spell.
I'm sorry, Rudy is the one holding Maleth?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
She begins to cast a spell, though it doesn't finish. So dark energy begins to jump between her fingers of her right hand. Tell me now, and I'll make this painless. Withhold that information, and I will be forced to pry it from you before I end your miserable lives. Nomad, your turn.
He is about to cast his spell,
Yes, she is casting a spell.
but it hasn't been cast yet.
Correct.
Was that toward Maleth or us?
She's walking towards you all.
Okay, while she's just still holding Maleth?
Yep.
That's an interesting strategy.
And keep in mind the snake is fangs deep in your shoulder and trying to coil itself around you. Actually, what was your grapple defense again?
33.
Okay. So it's having a hard time actually wrapping itself around you, but it is, it did embed its fangs in your shoulder. Hestia, you're next, by the way. Not right now, but next. If you want to hold
Okay.
your round, Nomad, we can go on to Hestia, but what you got?
I'm just looking at my stuff real
Yep.
quick.
Hestia, do you know what you're going to be doing?
Is the snake still around?
The snake is currently biting Nomad.
Okay. I'm going to cast Dominate Animal.
Go ahead and make
Here
a
we go.
perception check first. If you,
Oh, no.
If you will.
Okay.
You do recognize that parts of the snake appear to be rotting.
Okay.
So, just so you know. You would recognize that. Do you still wish to cast Dominate Animal?
No, it won't work. Alright. Then my plan is to I'm going to cast Dispel Magic on the snake to try and make it no longer undead.
So that will not affect its undeadness.
Okay.
You can
Alright.
cast Dispel Magic to remove any protections it might have, or any beneficial spells that it might have. Would you like to do that, or not?
No.
Okay.
Then I'm going to summon a swarm.
Okay.
And have it attack the snake.
Okay. What is it a swarm of?
It's going to be a swarm of rats.
Okay. So that I believe will be a full round action to cast that. So the rats seemingly crawl from every crack and crevice around you. Do you remember in the Suicide Squad when, I think it's Ratcatcher 2 is what her name is, but when she's using the rats, that's kind of how this looks. It's just out of every crack and crevice around you, just rat after rat is coming through. And they begin crawling up Nomad, and Nomad kind of has this itchy, weird sensation as they're doing so. But they ignore you and begin to crawl onto the snake itself, trying to bite it and control it, kill it. Nomad, what are you going to do?
Okay, let's see. So so the bookcase on the bottom right, the one that Tiffany is right by,
Yes.
yeah, I would like to cast Silence on that very edge of the bottom left of the bottom right bookcase.
Okay. What is the AoE for that?
20 feet.
Okay, let me get another AoE. By the way, the snake, as the rats are kind of biting at it, the snake let go of your shoulder and is dropped to the ground.
Oh, and sorry, I would swift cast the. So I don't know if I said that.
Swift cast.
Yeah,
the
that would be a
silence?
swift cast. Yes.
Okay. All right. Noted. How many fervor do you have per day, by the way?
5.
Okay. Where's my drawing tool? Okay. Okay. All right, as the silence hits that spot, you can tell the knight, the lady, I guess. Oh gosh, what was her name? You can tell that Rudy is still trying to talk, but it doesn't work. The spell doesn't seem to have broken that was on her hand. You can see frustration and anger. Actually, wait, hold on. Never mind. She has a helmet on, so you wouldn't have seen any of that. You'd have seen her cock her head after you finished casting the spell, and that's it. But the dark energy on her fingers doesn't seem to have dissipated.
Okay. Not
Actually-
sure what that is then that she's trying to do. Alright, then I will just attempt to murder the man in front of me.
Okay. Murder away. How many attacks do you get?
So I have the 2, and then haste gives me an extra.
That's right. I forgot about the haste. Okay. So the first one misses. The second 2 hit. Okay. With a loud crack, you are able to do. You're able to make
Wait,
2
what?
connecting hits.
No,
Hold on.
that damage is incorrect. That's 10 and 11 damage respectively.
Okay.
It's not adding my extra damage. I'm sorry, go on.
You're good. Okay, so 10 and 11. Good to know.
Yeah.
And that is slashing. Okay. So, with multiple cracks, you're able to get some good hits in with your whip. And, it knocks the guy a little bit off balance as well. But, I'm trying to think how to describe what you're doing with a whip against someone in armor. I guess the thing is that
Just exploit
It's-
weak points, like the neck or
it's
something
exploit
like that.
weak points, but beyond that, it's also being enhanced magically and like divine magic, but there's additional force there. And so when the cracks
The-
when the whip cracks, it's almost with the same force as if there was a punch behind it as well, beyond just the typical whipping, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and because of how sacred weapon works with war priest, the way
Mhm.
I see it is there's a mini little flash of light with every
Yes.
strike.
Yeah, and it hits harder than it should, especially with a whip. And so each hit, you can tell you're putting gashes into the armor, and it pushes him a little bit more than it should for just getting hit with a whip, especially someone in armor. I mean, the way that whips work in Pathfinder, if someone's got an armor bonus of beyond a certain amount, a whip does nothing. But this is clobbering through him as if you were hitting him with a sword in comparable circumstances. And so you can see the damage that you're doing to the body of this skeleton. And let's see. So you hit him twice, once, kind of back and forth with that. Tiffany, what do you do? It's your turn right now.
Sorry. I don't know why. I thought you said Hestia instead of Malith, and then
You're
it
good.
hit me. No, you did say Tiffany. Whoops. So, is the dude being, Nomad were flanking last time, is that the dude he has got with the whip and all? I'm assuming, or...
Yeah, that's the guy who was hitting with a whip.
Okay. I think I'm going to actually throw daggers at the snake.
Okay. Alright, go ahead.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I would have had 19 to hit because of flanking. If that
I
would
know,
have made a
that would have
difference
still
about
not
this
hit.
attack.
Are you sure you want
Okay.
to throw dice, or are you going to step forward and attack the snake on the ground?
Forward and attack.
Okay,
I wasn't certain how close I was at
Yeah.
first, but...
you're close enough. You'll only get the one attack, but that will definitely hit.
Okay, I'll
Do the
that.
sneak dice version, you're in a position where, because it's being swarmed by the rats, you can get a pretty solid hit on this.
Okay, so that would be the 66? Or no, the
Yes.
D6. Okay.
Yeah. It's d6 plus 6 and then an extra 4d6 for the sneak dice.
Yeah, that's why I was like, how many D6 am I rolling total?
Okay, I guess I should have asked, but I'm presuming that you're going to... Are you going to move carefully over, or are you going to just provoke an attack of opportunity from the knight?
I would have moved carefully.
Okay. Give me an acrobatics check as well, just for the sake of...
Okay, let me do that
completeness.
first then.
Yes.
Acrobatics. 36.
Yeah, you definitely... You pretty much just, like, roll past him as Nomad's thwacking him, and you come up... Go ahead and give me damage for that attack.
Yeah. Is that... How many D6 is that total?
Just... You should be able to just click the attack, and it will...
Oh, okay. Well, it's my...
Just double-click the
Oh,
damage
sorry.
box.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I'm trying to do, but for some reason my
I'll do it.
mouse isn't...
You're good.
Oh, thank you.
19 damage is what that will do. Let me double check how much
Sweet,
health the
thank you. Sorry about
snake
that. I don't know why
You're
my
good.
touchpad is like randomly hung up.
Okay. So you plunge the sword right into the snake, and it lets out a long hiss. And it actually whips forward and lands its teeth, trying to get into Hestia. What's your AC, Hestia?
19.
19? Okay. Then it gets hold of your ankle. And you can feel it pierce. And then you can feel the rush of fluid as venom leaks into your body. Give me a fortitude save. Well, actually, hold on. You're still manifesting as undead. What does your undead form thing do to your traits? Do you have it in...
So what it
Does
does
it
is
actually treat
it's
you as
bas-
undead, or you just...
you basically treat me as like Malith. As far as negative energy and things like that.
Okay. Then I don't think that would... I don't think that would stop you from being affected by poison.
That's fine.
Okay.
Is it my turn?
Not yet. So, go ahead and give me a fortitude save.
Is that FF?
Um,
No, I found it. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. You feel your body weaken as the poison begins to set in. So that is... you actually take 2 points of Constitution damage.
Okay.
Okay, so I put that in. Okay, so you feel your body weaken as the snake bites you.
Yeah. I do
As
this on my turn.
okay, so hold on, because it's not your turn yet. The knights. Okay, so Gabriel, you're next. The one knight next to you, he's not really. He may as well be incapacitated. You hear more commotion coming from up above as several zombies and skeletons come into this room, though the entanglement slows them down considerably. The spell in the... Actually, yeah, Gabriel, your turn. From there.
Okay. Actually, I should have metagame. As I can't see anybody, so...
Yes.
I'm
I mean,
gonna
you can hear
round-
everything going on,
ru-
but yes.
Yeah, well, I don't know that someone got bit by a snake and is poisoned. I don't know that specifically. So, I'm going to... I'm going to just leave that skeleton knight on the ground and run towards where everybody else is.
Okay. Alright, as you get over here, the knight steps backwards. The energy in her hand dissipates. And she looks at you all, or looks in all of your direction. If you come any closer. She draws a knife and puts it to Malith's throat. I will bleed her right here. And that is where we'll end tonight.
Dun dun dun.
Malith died before. She's used to it.
How many times will Malith die in this campaign?
She will die as
Poor
many
Malith.
times as she needs to.
I will. Every life is sacred, and we will protect everybody, no matter how many lives it takes.
Would slitting her throat even kill her as what she is?
Not on its own.
Like, do I even have blood to drain since I've been zombified?
I mean, generally it's not going to drain, it's more congealed. But, you could still... I mean, nobody knows how many hit points you're at right now.
That's
That's
She could-
true.
She could just do enough damage and kill you. So I believe undead, as opposed to regular people, they don't have negative hit points to play around with. They hit 0 and then they're gone.
Good day.
That's okay. Sin still is back in Barroway, we just need the body.
Okay. Yeah, so that's where we'll end tonight.
All
Sorry
right.
for some
Love
of that
the
being
break bonds
anticlimactic,
play,
yeah.
Gabriel.
That was sweet.
What's that?
I was gonna say a lot of low rolls, but there was some pretty sweet plays there.
I loved your break bonds play. That was sick.
Thanks. Yeah, I was looking at all my spells, and I'm like, okay, what can I use? Like, what's useful here? I'm like, maybe. So,
That works. That's awesome.
yeah. I like that I have someone that can't really get up unless they muster enough physical strength
Help!
to get up with
I've
only
fallen.
stumps.
And I can't get up.
Yeah.
Alright, it is starting to get late, so I'm going to end the stream. We can chat afterwards, but
All right.
thank you to all of our viewers. Hope that
Thank you all.
Hope that was exciting enough. For tonight, at least.